I have been on interviews where somebody says, monogamy is a deal breaker. By their third date, both in love, both exclusive.
I've been talking to Catfish for quite a while and was really invested in a Catfish relationship.
Photos don't necessarily bring out the best in everybody.
Right.
So when people say it's an expense, I say actually it's an investment.
Welcome to The Basic Show with Viktorija Pashuta.
Hello, beautiful people. We are here, hearing the sounds of the planes amongst all this metal, feeling all sexy and dramatic. Welcome to The Basic Show, Season 4, Surprise Part 2. We have a very special guest, Mariel Filippone.
Perfect.
The co-founder of the matchmaking agency called When We're First. Hello, Mariel. Welcome to The Basic Show.
Hi, thank you.
We're going to have an express session to give a little feedback and maybe have a little bit different perspective from your point of view as a co-founder of how we met. So let's talk a little bit about your clients. And I'm sure our listeners and viewers would love to hear some success stories. Can you give us maybe two things? Success stories and maybe some that were unfortunately a failure. We want to hear both options.
Right,
Burgess.
right. It's definitely more authentic to tell you both sides of what can happen. That's partly what we do.
Hey, we want to hear it all.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, we like to tell you exactly what we do. And it's pretty interesting because there is a lot of intuition to it. There really is. It's hard to explain. You can't even necessarily train on that. It's like you automatically think of somebody that pops into your mind when you're on an interview with somebody else and you think of somebody that you might have interviewed 6 months before and you contact them to see if they're even still single. A lot of that happens with what we do. And I think that's what some people just don't understand, that matchmaking, the reason why it is such a, I will say it's an expense, but it's more of an investment in our eyes, because what's more important than potentially meeting, the right type of people that you want to date, right? We all want to find and connect with people. And so when people say it's an expense, I say actually it's an investment. And we spend so much time interviewing people. We can spend an hour and 20 minutes to 2 hours minimally interviewing people. So when we're on these interviews, we think of other people we've interviewed, we've met, clients that we have, and our team meets so often that we're constantly kind of exchanging notes on who we're looking for. And somebody just pops into your mind and, 9 times out of 10, it actually ends up being a really close fit. I mean, we're the women and men a part of this team are really, truly incredible.
So let's talk specifics. We want to know the specifics. Give us an example of two couples that met through the matchmaking services.
Okay.
What were they looking for? Right.
One recently, I actually had known this client. This client contacted myself. I've known him for many years, and he had long-term relationships. So I knew the kind of person he was looking for. However, I didn't interview him because we were too close. He ended up hiring our matchmaking team. And on his interview with one of our matchmakers, which, by the way, all of our matchmakers have, 16, 17 years experience. They're not trained by some certificate over a couple months, right? They actually have experience, kind of what we call in the trenches. But she happened to mention a couple key points that I never knew about this person that I'd known for years. And when she said a couple things,
which were,
well, I, for example, I didn't know that he felt very connected to wanting to be with somebody that was, very involved in her culture ethnically. He really liked and wanted to embrace an ethnic culture with whoever he was dating. And I thought that was really fascinating, because that to me is not always what somebody might, say that they are looking for. He wanted somebody really deeply rooted in family, that family meant a lot. A lot of people do say that. But when I heard that specifically about wanting to be a part of something a little bit deeper and stronger in that department, automatically
I love the sound.
Automatically, this woman that is very connected culturally from Mexico, born and raised in Mexico, immigrated to the United States, has been here for a very long time, but still very connected to her roots. She just popped into my mind. And I introduced them for a date. I told the matchmaker, you have to get in touch with this person. They go on their first date. She wasn't sure at first. By their third date, both in love, both exclusive. This is recently, just happened.
Wow. So it makes you almost like a human database, right? I don't know how many people you have to carry in the back of your mind to be able to put those puzzles together, right?
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah. You have to almost kind of think of people, right? And have so much data stored on people's interests, whether or not, children are their priority or not. There's so many things, religious backgrounds, of course, geographic locations, but people are very open to moving for love these days as well. They're open to relocating because times have changed and people can work from anywhere. So that's actually played a huge factor in dating. We actually do have quite a people that will date bi-coastal, and then one might move.
So you mentioned before that it is an investment, right? We do invest in education, we do invest in our health, in our projects, but we do not invest in what's the most important, right, in our relationship. But at the same time, if you do have, so at the same time, it's a high price service, right? So you mentioned before, if I'm not mistaken, the matchmaking services could be like from $6,000 to $100,000 investment. Does it also limit at the same time, or is it a little bit more biased for finding a true match, or you're only matching those couples or those partners or candidates who actually invest in the service? What if, the love of his life might be waiting, in the bar next door who cannot afford that service? What do you do about that? Do you only work with both paying partners in your services?
So that's why we created the dating app. That's why we wanted to be the #1 matchmaking company in the world with the most amount of singles that we have access to, speaking to, interviewing. They don't necessarily have to both come to the table with the same investment. That's not actually what we look for. That would be completely, like, to your point, that would be not a match necessarily. Just because two people came to the table with the same investment doesn't mean anything to us as matchmakers. What we do is we spend more time on the person that paid us. We are looking for what they're looking for.
It's more like a customized approach.
It's very customized approach where there's guaranteed dates, whereas we might put them on a date with somebody that didn't necessarily pay us, but that's the only date they're going to get from us potentially.
So say they pay you a certain fee and they guaranteed how many dates?
It depends on their membership. We do have different memberships, and that we really can't extend a membership to just anyone. We've actually turned down people for memberships. We really do extend memberships to people we know without a shadow of doubt that we could get them guaranteed dates. We can't actually extend a membership to just everyone sometimes.
What was the reason for rejection?
Honestly, some people aren't fully divorced. That's a big one. We don't want to be in a business where, there's some gray areas.
Come in. Join the conversation.
No gray areas.
All the singles
on
wait, what? Did I hear matchmaking service?
We're here.
Okay, so they're not fully divorced, right? They're not fully committed to be in the new relationship.
And it's very interesting because the world's evolving. I have been on interviews where somebody says, monogamy is a deal breaker, and most people come to us because they want monogamy. It's rare to be able to have a lot of people coming to a matchmaking service that don't want monogamy. We do hear it, yes.
I love the sound of keep going. It's just part of our sound.
We do hear that, but it's so rare that we really can't necessarily extend a membership to just everybody if we don't have, if we really legitimately just don't have a lot of people that are looking for that. It's not honest of us to be able to extend a membership.
Do you do some kind of an extensive background research on your
we do what
clients?
We call more of a soft kind of background check as much as possible that we can do. And there are some softwares and services out there that we have invested in for things like that. So that does help absolutely in ensuring that it's an authentic experience and a safe experience. I think that's what a lot of people come to us for too, is to make sure that they're safely dating.
So your app is relatively new. Can you share us how many members approximately do you currently have registered?
I know we have quite a few.
Okay.
Whoops. I don't know that number.
That's fine. What I mean, like it's dozens, hundreds, thousands?
Oh, yeah. Tens of thousands that we're
Okay.
working on.
Okay.
However, we also firmly believe in quality over quantity. We've seen a lot of dating apps have, millions of users, and the percentage of authenticity and safety that they feel like it's a good place to meet somebody, it's very low. We'd rather have a higher percentage in quality versus quantity. And so we definitely are growing at, I would say, a very organic, kind of grassroots style.
Do you do any sort of like ID verification?
Oh,
Or?
absolutely. Yes.
I've been talking to Catfish for quite a while and was really invested in a Catfish relationship. And then you realize, okay, I was talking to a not real, I mean, it was a real person, but it was hiding behind somebody really handsome profile.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you're not the only one, and you won't be the last. There's several stories that we hear
Good
about.
experience, though.
Experience, because everything you go through does make you better. It does improve dating for you in general and overall. However, it is frustrating because you don't want to waste time. No one wants to waste their time.
Do you think having this matchmaking services, it's a threat to actual human relationship and makes men and women more lazy to go out there and to put in effort and to meet somebody in person?
That's interesting to think that way. I actually believe that people are wasting so much more time sometimes on their own. If you think about it, dating is emotional. Relationships are emotional. Why would you want to kind of go through that alone when you could have a team? You could have somebody supporting you through that. It's one of the hardest things that people even kind of go through, other than grieving, of course. But dating in general, relationships, they do require a lot of emotion. And so I do believe that, why would you kind of waste your time doing it alone? That's really why we created the human button, for people to have that coaching and that cheerleader or that voice of reason that they can connect with. So they might not necessarily be able to afford matchmaking, but maybe they do look forward to coaching calls, and that's available in our app as well.
So what happens if you have a client who paid for the services and still didn't find their match?
So we don't necessarily guarantee that they will find their match.
Okay.
We guarantee dates they would actually want to go
dates.
on. So we have a really unique process, whereas 100% of the matchmakers out there that we're aware of, they really set up on blind dates. We actually are the only company that I know of.
Let's keep going.
That
I love these plans. I don't know why it gives me goosebumps.
No, it's cool.
I feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
With you.
It kind of is like the set.
I know it is, right?
But we are the only company that I'm aware of that actually shows you some photos. We actually create an entire profile to be able to present to our matchmaking clients. So we will talk about, we will only mention first name, no last names, no place of work, nothing that would cross that confidentiality line. But we would at least explore and advocate for the person we want to introduce them to, because a lot of the times photos can't express who someone is. Unfortunately, people are so accustomed to swiping and prejudging, whereas we have found that when people sit across the table from the other person, sparks can fly, chemistry can be there, but they would have maybe 9 times out of 10 swiped no on somebody because photos don't necessarily bring out the best in everybody.
Right. So how involved are you in the people that you're working with? Let's say you arranged the first dates, say everything went great, there was chemistry, they started dating. Do you just, let them be, or you keep working, like you said, do coaching, or how else are you involved besides setting up the dates?
We stay with them through the whole journey. It's usually either
Swedish family, I love it.
it's almost like a 9 to 12 month commitment of, we call it a membership, but yes, there's coaching weekly that's provided from, again, experts that know what they're doing and know how to advise through different scenarios. We can prepare people for dates. We can help them make and look and feel their best. At the end of the day, we want to hear the feedback, though. That's what we want to get
You
to.
look the
We want to
fan
get
club,
to,
right?
Yes.
You look great, you look amazing, your shirt looks
That's
good,
right.
the
That's
tie
right.
looks fly.
Show me your outfit. Send me a video.
I know. So you're pretty much almost like the, I don't know, say like family they never had.
Well, yeah, we do feel that way. We do
Yeah.
feel like I get very close to clients, and we do say, hey, we think you really should get professional photography done before we present you. And we actually tell everybody that 100% of our clients, we recommend that they get professional photography done. They've done something with their hair, whatever it is, right? We do not want our male clients to hold a fish and wear a hat with sunglasses because that's what 99%
Some might like
of
it.
them do.
There might be a girl who
Sure,
would
they
get
like
attracted
it.
to that fish.
Yeah, there are some women that love to fish. Yes, we just don't believe that that's the most authentic photo to put
To
forward
represent in
as
best
the
way.
first couple photos. We think it should be maybe towards the back
Right.
of the photo deck.
I mean, man, I look through so many profiles. I always know, okay, this is the cap guy. This is the mother guy. I like always picture with the mother. Kind of fishy. Is he like too, is she too controlling? Picture with the dog. No. Picture with the fish. No.
Right. But your mind is already
I know, very
sorting.
judgmental. I know.
Whereas maybe
spoiled.
if you sat across from the table with this person, you might say, oh, we have so much in common.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bring
my
that fish.
husband, honestly, on paper, I've told my husband this. He's the love of my life. I'm so thankful that, he did pursue and he worked hard to make me kind of see what, but on paper, I didn't think that he was necessarily who I was looking for. We started, kind of talking and dating, and he was a full smoker. I didn't know that. I owned gyms and I worked in gyms. Can you imagine? Do you think that I would think of myself ending up with a smoker? In road construction? It's very popular in that industry, right? But lo and behold, he quit years later, not right away, right? But I always knew he wanted to. So sometimes you also have to
bring the best of the person, maybe.
You both do in a relationship, hopefully in a healthy, committed, loving relationship, in a partnership, you're both always pushing each other to be better. That's really what I believe at the end of the day provides such great connections and long-term lasting relationships.
This is a great point to wrap up this Express conversation. Always look for a partner who will bring the best out of you and always want the best for you from both sides.
That's right.
Well, thank you for being on The Basic Show. It was really great chatting with you, getting a little more insights on when we're first. So please go on the website, check out the app, and I wish all of you the very best and find the true love of your life and feel those butterflies again or for the first time.
Yes.
Thank you for being on The Basic Show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.